By the end of this video, you will know all of the necessary tools needed to start a successful copywriting business in 2026. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, I might need to tell y'all who I am. Hello, my name is Daji. I'm a website copywriter and brand messaging strategist for CPG brands. So I feel like I'm the proper person to tell you guys what you need, okay? Let's get into copywriting tools, okay? Number one, just use plain old Google Docs. I know a lot of businesses, there's so many different things out there and it may feel overwhelmed, but like literally you only need Google Docs and that is free 99, all right? Write all of your copy there and send it through your clients through Google Docs. Now, project management systems. So I kind of use two tools here. For all internal things, keeping track of documents, client projects, resources, brain dumps, I use Notion. I have an entire basically business headquarters in my Notion and I keep everything nice and tight inside of their boot, okay? Whether it comes from social media content, client projects, contracts, templates, anything of that sort. I created my own Notion template, so I use that to manage everything about my business, okay? If I was to lose my Notion, that would be very tragic. Next, on the project management side, but kind of more client-facing, we have Dubsado. This is my CRM system. This is how I schedule client appointments. This is how I send invoices, questionnaires, contracts, anything of that sort. It is sent through Dubsado. I highly recommend getting a CRM system. I know a lot of like freelancers kind of use like Calendly and like, hey, if you want to set up a call, just click a link in my Calendly. Absolutely not. It's also how I use my lead form on my website. So if you go to my website and you want to inquire, you know, for a specific project or service, you would fill out an inquiry form and then that would get sent to me. I'd get a notification. I don't just get that in an email. That is set up through Dubsado. So that keeps track of all the leads that I'm getting. I can set up automated emails, automated invoices. It's just the best thing ever. And they have the most helpful YouTube channel on the planet that teaches you how to use the software. And the freaking videos are so short and sweet. Absolutely love it. That is a bit on the more expensive side. I think that's about, I use the Premier plan because it's about $40 a month, but I get enough clients that it makes sense to pay $40 a month for that. So it definitely is paying for itself. Next we have Canva. I create a lot of social media content, so I use Canva for that. That's pretty self-explanatory. So I think I have like a $9 a month plan or something like that. Next, let's talk like financial things. So the bank that I use is Novo. The only bad thing about this is they don't have a customer service call and they don't have a physical location. So if there was ever a situation where I needed to really get in contact with somebody, I would be fucked because I would have to wait for somebody to message me back. I haven't had any issues ever, but if it would, that does worry me sometimes. But I find it to be very like easy to set up, very easy to manage, especially when as a freelance business. Like for the type of business I have, it makes sense, it works, I love it, no complaints. But if something were to ever occur really and I needed to get in contact with somebody, that process would take a bit longer. So that's the only issue I would say about that, but I haven't had a complaint, I haven't had an issue with it as of yet. Then I have a Stripe account. So in order for me to get paid from Dubsado, you can't directly put in your like bank information for direct deposit. They use Stripe and I feel like they use other things, but if somebody pays me through Dubsado, I send them the invoice. That will be live, that funding would be live in my Dubsado, and in order for me to withdraw the money, it transfers through Stripe into my bank account. So there is like a fee that Stripe has with any type of like withdrawal, which is fine. It's not a lot of money, but I recommend Stripe. I think there's like PayPal is another option and maybe one other bank option, but I prefer Stripe. I've heard horror stories about the other ones, so that's what I go with. Next we have contracts and NDA. I use a lawyer's contract templates who specializes in like freelance businesses like copywriting, and I just kind of edit it to match the services and businesses that I have. It was literally just copy and paste in my Dubsado template. And she does everything for you. It's kind of like a one size fits all contract, and you just edit based on needs off of like your state and the type of business that you run. So that's how I handle that. I recommend 100 times that you have contracts, even if it's your first client. if you end up in a situation where you don't have, you know, like your first client use a contract, use the money from that and immediately buy a contract template. Even if you don't get this one, I recommend it because it was just easy. But like, take that first payment that you get from a client and use it to buy contracts. Do not fuck around and wait for contracts. Like, a lot of this stuff that I'm mentioning here, you can kind of wait until you get a bit of a groove into your business, because I didn't have all of this stuff to start. But a contract, do not get a client without getting a contract. Don't do it. And then as far as my templates for, you know, sending over invoices for clients, sending over contracts and things like that, I did purchase a template from another freelancer who specializes in operations and things like that, because Dubsado can be very complex, and if you don't know how to code, you could fuck shit up. As helpful as their YouTube channel is, I wanted my templates and things to be very pretty, and I wanted them to look a certain way, so I invested in templates from another small business, and I just adjusted the colors and the you know, the fonts and things like that to adjust to my business. So that's kind of how I handle that. I almost forgot to mention Grammarly. So every single piece of copywriting work that I send to a client specifically goes through Grammarly first. I do not send anything without going through Grammarly. Sometimes you need an extra set of eyes or AI eyes, because baby, there has been times where there has been typos that I did not know, or like sentences could have been structured a bit different, and Grammarly helps out with that. Now, I don't take every single suggestion that they ask, because the copy that I write for websites and branding, like, you know, I'm trying to spin it and give it personality, and sometimes Grammarly and AI tools don't recognize that, so they maybe think that there's errors or there could be a better way to structure the sentence, but like, they don't get that humanness from it. So that's why you always can't take suggestions from all of these different tools when it comes to AI, okay? Because sometimes it's like, no boo, you don't know what I'm talking about, move along. I do have some affiliate links that will be in the description box below if you are interested in purchasing any of these things. If you have any further questions about any of these services, like the bank that I use, like Dubsado, Grammarly, anything that I mentioned up here, leave a comment and I will answer all questions. If you have any more video suggestions about running a copywriting business, I will also love to talk about that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.